Help, help. Broskies, help, help. There's a bunch of women calling me and I don't like it. Help. Help. I'm too busy building fazbear frights and I'm getting called a lot. I'm getting spam calls. I keep getting spam messages from the homies. Yay! Losing my sanity because I created a map in Fortnite. I meant Fortnite. Yes. Fortnite! Fortnite Avengers Unite!
Oh, watch that. What the heck? I'm gone. I watched that. At 10 o'clock I watched it. I watched Nicky, Ricky, Dicky, and Dawn.
What the?
I know. His name is Dicky, I know. Yeah, I know. The one with the long hair, his name is Dicky.
What? Before I die, need a little bit more. Before I die, I don't want to die young, I just want to live more. Nice. Bye. Huh. Sorry about that. And they call me again.
I worked even harder. Started streaming every day on Twitch, posting 5 days a week on YouTube, and found creative ways to grow my channel. Then, by the end of 2016, I began to make some changes to my content by playing ESO less often and drifting more into Overwatch and For Honor. And as my confidence grew, I started playing in For Honor tournaments, and I actually became one of the top 5 players in the game. But then, things
You know, I'm just not going to answer it.
really started to slow down. I stopped growing as fast, and so after a while, I started to feel stuck. So I began to look to make a jump to a bigger game. I tried CSGO, H1Z1, PUBG, but then someone drew my attention to a new battle royale game called Fortnite. And I wasn't into it at first. It had this goofy, cartoony look to it, and so I thought it looked kind of childish. But I decided to give it a shot anyway. Fortnite was still a new game, and since I had built my audience around ESO and For Honor, I'd lost 8% of my viewership since I started playing. I came up with a new strategy. I started my stream much earlier than any of the big streamers were, just for a chance of getting noticed. And that actually worked. More people were coming to my stream, but I still needed something else to help me stand out. Fortnite had just added the launch pad to the game, and I started thinking, how can I eliminate someone using a launch pad? And that's when this happened. Oh my god! And these viral clips were huge for me. They helped put me on the map and brought me the recognition needed for me to participate in the very first Friday Fortnite, which I ended up winning with my buddy Nick Merckx. And at this moment, I had seen some success in other games, and I had a lucky break in Fortnite, but I still felt like I hadn't solidified myself. I needed to do something bigger and greater to prove it to my parents, my brothers, my basketball coach, and to myself that I could make it long-term as a gaming content creator. And it wasn't until this moment that the opportunity presented itself. Dr. Lupo was hosting a big charity stream for St. Jude with Ninja and Tim the Tatman and Courage JD, and I was invited to be there. So I felt a lot of pressure. Not only was I playing with some of the biggest streamers playing Fortnite, charity donations were also based off of the things we did in the game. One of the biggest being a $25,000 bonus if you got a headshot snipe while rocket riding. And sure enough, on my first game, I hopped on a rocket and headshot sniped the very last player.
Alright, he's weak right here. Get 360 jump.
Off the rocket!
You sniped him off the rocket?
Yes, I did! And then during the next game, I clutched the win by throwing 2 traps on a wall that eliminated the opposing squad. And Dr. Lupo started...
I'm not gonna answer.
Cheering me on, Ninja was losing it. Everyone went crazy. It was seriously one of the best moments of my career because that was the moment that I felt like I had finally made it, and the rest was history. After years of dedication, I was finally able to prove to myself and my parents and feel like I had made it as a content creator. And what's funny is my parents even started pushing my brothers to start streaming as well, which just goes to show how far they've come. Seriously, guys, if you believe in yourself and trust in your ability to persevere through hard things, doubt and fear that creeps up on you doesn't stand a chance. The only person standing in your way is yourself. Thank you so much for watching.
I could listen to his stories all day. He tells some best stories. Staying up at the...
This is a story of how I got into a fight with a real life Florida man. This one's crazy. Here's what happened. Me and the wifey went to Florida, and the first thing we wanted to do was have a picnic on the beach. And so we went to the supermarket real quick to get some supplies. We got a cooler, some drinks, some food. Then we checked out.
It doesn't look that good, but this is not the main part. The main part is going to be through that
As
rip.
we were about to leave, we were like, wait, we forgot sunscreen. So we run back inside. And at this point, I had the cooler in my hand, and it had all of the stuff packed inside of it. And it had this little plastic handle that you held it by. And as we were walking around trying to find the sunscreen, the handle just snaps off, and the cooler falls and spills everything. And so now there was this huge spill. The food we just bought was on the ground. The drinks were rolling across the aisle. The ice was everywhere. And I just stood there and stared at this huge mess for like 30 seconds because I didn't know what to do. I completely froze. But then Danielle and I got down on the ground to start cleaning up. And while we were on the ground, I noticed that there was this old dude standing like 3 feet away from us, just watching us. Like, he wasn't doing anything to help. He was just standing there. And this dude was jacked. Like, he's probably one of the buffest old guys I've ever seen. But anyways, a few feet away from him was this worker, and that guy was completely lost. Bro, when I walked over to him, I was like, I'm sorry about the spill, but he didn't even respond to me at all. And I wasn't sure if he was just distracted or what, but he was zoned out like a real-life NPC. Like, he didn't even look at me. He just looked down at the spill and then just peaced out. And so Danielle and I were left standing around the spill, and we looked at each other and we're like, what are we gonna do? Like, we didn't know if someone was gonna come help us or not. So Danielle said, I'll go find someone. And so she turned to walk away, and the second Danielle turned around, someone said, where do you think you're going? And so Danielle and I stopped for a second and looked around to see who was talking to us, and it was that old guy. And at first, I didn't think he was talking to us, but there was literally no one else in the aisle, and I was like, oh, she's just trying to find someone to help clean up the spill. And before I could even finish what I was going to say, he was like, oh, so you're just going to leave this spill unattended? Which was so annoying, because it was like, he wasn't even listening when I said that.
That takes you underground. That's supposed to be a secret.
Like he was getting mad for no reason. Like, we were doing everything we could. I just wanted to tell this guy to relax. But then I thought, maybe he was confused. Maybe he thought we were both gonna leave, and so I tried to be more clear. I was like, no. She's just gonna go find someone to help. And like, I was hoping that if I kept it cool, he'd just go away. But Daniela had had enough of this guy, and she was like, sir, I'm trying to get someone to help. I don't appreciate the way you're talking to me. We're trying to get this sorted. And then she left. And at that point, this guy was really getting on my nerves. Like, I was thinking, dude, no one is forcing you to stay here. If the spill is bothering you this much, you should just leave. And then I thought, maybe if I just explained it wasn't his problem and that we would take care of it, maybe he'd just go away. And so I was like, listen, I'm not gonna leave. We're trying to get somebody to help. Thank you for your concern. But honestly, I feel like I could have explained it 1,000 different ways and it would not have mattered because this dude was not gonna leave. And actually, he decided to take things to a whole new level by saying something that completely shocked me. I'm not concerned with your kind. Red alert, possible racism and bigotry detected. At that point, I wished a bunch of Publix workers would have came in like a SWAT team and escorted him out Rainbow Six Siege style, but that didn't happen. In reality, I just froze. I had no idea what to say. Like, how are you even supposed to respond to that? I was being nice to this guy. I was calm. I tried to de-escalate the situation, But it didn't matter. It didn't stop this guy from saying some of the stupidest things I've ever heard. And that's when the old guy backed up, threw his arms out, and was like, I'll meet you outside if you want to deal with this. And I was thinking, what? This is insane. Is he really trying to fight me because of a spill? Come on, dude. Is that really the reason for us to 1v1 outside of a supermarket? This guy can't be serious. I don't want to fight him. Like, I didn't think this was worth fighting over. And so I tried to think of something to say to him to get him to leave, and I was like, no one wants to fight you, old man. I don't know why, but it actually worked. After I said that, the old dude just gave up and walked away. And so I was thinking, yes, he's gone. Finally, it's over. And that's when Daniela came back with one of the employees to help clean up. Then after that, Daniela and I grabbed our stuff, checked out, then waited outside for the Uber again. And while we were waiting, we started to wonder if the old dude was going to come back outside.
Thank you.
So Daniela started to get worried about what he was going to do, and she wanted to leave. And so that's when she was like, let's wait across the street at Starbucks so we can get as far away from that guy as possible. But I'll be honest, I didn't want to go anywhere. I was hoping that this guy was going to come back outside. Like, I was low-key excited about it. Like, I couldn't wait to see what he was going to do. Was he going to apologize? Was he going to avoid us and run straight to his car? I wasn't sure, but I had to see it through. But here's the thing. If he did try to start something, I was 100% sure I'd handle it. It didn't matter how tough the guy was. I could take him because, sure, he was fit, but he was still super old. So, like, what could he even do to me? But then Daniela started pulling me away and was like, please, I'm not comfortable. Let's just leave this guy alone. So I was like, okay. Then we headed towards Starbucks. But that's when he came back out. And the second he walked outside, he made eye contact with me and made a beeline towards us. And guys, he looked so angry. And when he got up to us, the first thing he said was, you'll never look as good as me when you're 70. Okay, sure, he was in decent shape, but coming right out of the gate with the you'll never look as good as me thing was kind of weird. But after that, he just started yelling at me. And remember, we're in the middle of the parking lot outside of the supermarket. So it was sort of weird and awkward to look around and see people pushing their shopping carts and just staring at us. But that didn't faze the old guy at all. He just kept yelling. He was like, look at you, you're so angry and miserable. Okay, at this point, he's just projecting. I mean, he's the one who's angry and miserable. And now I'm just starting to get sad. I kind of felt bad for the guy. And so I didn't say anything. I just kept staring at him and just hoping that at some point he'd run out of steam and stop talking. But he kept going and going and going. And pretty soon he started to flex on me. He was like, look at me. My life's amazing. I'm put together. And I'm thinking, bro, how amazing could your life possibly be? Are you a billionaire who flies on private jets all the time or something? And if so, why the heck are you chilling at a supermarket in Florida? Go travel the world or something. Like, really, your life can't be that amazing if you're yelling at me in the middle of a parking lot. You are the least put together person right now. You're a loser, and your wife is a loser. And I felt like at that point he was just getting desperate. Like, I think he was throwing whatever insults he could think of at me, and the only ones left were the ones you'd hear in grade school or in Twitch chat. But at this point, I was just getting so tired of hearing this guy talk, and so I was like, you're not going to do anything. And then I called him a boomer, you know, for the memes. And I don't think he understood what that meant, but after that, he must have ran out of things to say because he just started shouting nonsense. And I'm not sure if he thought that would intimidate me or what, but at this point, it didn't matter.
Okay, that's supposed to be like a jump.
And so I knew that it was time for me to leave this guy alone. I had enough. So I just backed off and walked away. Then Daniela dragged me to the Uber and we left. And I'm glad that I didn't end up fighting him, but if I'm being honest, if he had laid a finger on Daniela, me personally, I wouldn't have taken that level of disrespect. Let me know what you guys would have done in the comments. Thank you.
Wait.
Yeah, you can call me Pat. So I look bad, but I wasn't safe.
Mr. Beast flew me out to his place so I can be in a huge video, and this is what meeting Mr. Beast is really like. And Jimmy, if you're watching this, there's something I did while I was at your place that I never told you, and I never told anyone, but let me explain. It all started last summer. I was planning to be home to stream the big reveal of my clothing brand, Metal Umbrella, but Mr. Beast wasn't going to make it that easy. Because just when I thought we had everything under control, I got a phone call. Yo, Cypher, I'm working on a new video. It's the biggest one yet. I would love if you flew out to North Carolina to be in it. So when do you need me? Well, you need to fly out today. You have to quarantine for 3 days before the shoot. Are you down? Well, of course I was down, but I just wasn't sure this was going to work. I have to book a flight right now, flying tonight, quarantine for 3 days, film a Fortnite update video on Tuesday, film with Mr. Beast on Wednesday, and barely make it back in time to stream on Thursday for the big reveal. And if anything went wrong, the Metal Umbrella launch would be ruined. We worked for over a year on this project and invested so much into it. If I went and didn't make it back in time to stream the reveal, all of that would be wasted. I didn't want to miss out on this opportunity. This was my chance to make a vlog with Mr. Beast and get to meet him in person. So, Cypher, what do you think? I'll do it. So I quickly packed a bag, booked a flight, and made my way to North Carolina. But if I was going to go, I wasn't going to just film with Mr. Beast. I was also going to give him a Metal Umbrella box as a gift and capture his reaction to it in a vlog. But when I landed, I already had a huge problem. My bag was lost during the flight. Apparently it got put on the wrong plane and I needed to pick it up in the morning. I was so frustrated because my Metal Umbrella box was in there. This wasn't good. After I left the airport, I headed straight to the Airbnb that Mr. Beast's team set up for me. And on the way there, I realized that the craziest thing about North Carolina was that everyone seemed to know who Mr. Beast was. It felt like he was the mayor. I got to the Airbnb and it was sweet. And Mr. Beast's team were like wizards, because if I ever needed anything, they'd make it appear out of thin air. Need a mouse pad? Ooh, there it is. Need a Mr. Beast burger? There's 2 of them. Need a 6-foot cardboard cutout of Chun-Li? Sure. Yes, definitely. Anything could happen. They also set me up with a Mr. Beast computer with 2 monitors to stream from. But we had a major problem. The internet here was the absolute worst. I'm pretty sure cavemen had better internet. This was a huge issue for me. If I wasn't able to find a way to get faster upload speed, I wouldn't be able to stream or record any videos this week. If I couldn't do that, it would mean that I would have gone a whole week without content for you guys. And there was a big Fortnite update coming on Tuesday, and now there's no chance of that happening. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. Maybe this whole trip was a mistake. So, Mr. Beast has his own gaming setup at his house. Just want to use that. Wait, really? Luckily, Mr. Beast's wizards came in clutch again. When I got to Mr. Beast's place, I was getting some stuff out of my car when I saw something out of the corner of my eye. Who was that? Was it someone from his family? Was it Chris? Was it Chandler? No, it was him. It was Mr. Beast. I couldn't believe my eyes. What was I even going to say? Oh, wait, you're here? Oh, hey, great to meet you. But sorry, bro, I can't talk right now because we're still quarantined. Anyways, I gotta go. Later. And he left. Yeah, the first time I met Mr. Beast was at his house, and we didn't really talk. I went inside and went to Mr. Beast's gaming room so that I could start streaming, and this room had everything. It had gigabit internet, multiple gaming setups, leather couches, more snacks than you could possibly imagine, and a fridge stocked with drinks. And every inch of this room was decorated with pictures and quotes from